This is the MCTV Weekday Update.
Welcome to the Thursday edition of the MCTV Weekday Update. I'm Nathan Lee.
And I'm Danielle Salazar.
The COVID-19 situation in Lubbock County continues to improve day by day, with the number of active cases dropping significantly over the last few weeks. And with the number of daily positive tests remaining low, city officials are rolling back several changes to help the city take another step towards normality. Yesterday afternoon, Lubbock health officials, along with City Councilman Steve Massengale, held a news conference with details regarding the city's efforts to fight the coronavirus. After an update on vaccine distribution, Councilman Massengale made several announcements addressing upcoming changes inside the city limits. On March 1st, public facilities such as the local libraries and Garden and Arts Center will resume room rentals. Some public programming at the libraries will also resume, such as children's story time. Also, the next City Council meeting will be held using a hybrid model with both in-person and virtual options available to the public. And perhaps the biggest change is the city's decision to allow outdoor public gatherings up to 50 people without approval, along with the reintroduction of an online application for events with 50 or more attendees. All of these changes are being made since Lubbock has remained below the hospitalization rate specified in Governor Greg Abbott's GA-32 order. GA-32 put additional restrictions on the city back in October after COVID-19 cases spiked and daily hospitalizations increased above 15%. Since the beginning of January, Lubbock County has continued to see a noticeable drop in daily positive tests for the coronavirus. Within the last 2 weeks, new infections have remained under 50 per day, and there hasn't been a report of more than 100 positive tests in a single day since February 2nd.
Speaking of COVID-19, the Texas Tech fight against the virus is also dramatically improving as the university nears the end of the 5th full week of classes. Yesterday, campus officials reported 7 new active cases of the coronavirus, with all of the positive tests coming from the student population. Yesterday's report brings the number of current active cases on campus to 13, with 3 recoveries also included in yesterday's announcement. With yesterday's numbers, the university has had a total of 182 reported cases since employees returned to campus in early January. In comparison, that number is almost as half as the active number cases that the university reported when in-person classes ended last fall. As a reminder, free COVID-19 testing is still available here on campus throughout the spring semester. Tech's COVID-19 testing location can be found at 2533 15th Street at the southeast corner of the intersection of 15th and Akron, across from the sub. Testing is available Monday through Saturday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Appointments are not required, but you will need a mask and social distancing will be observed. For much more information on the university's response to COVID-19 pandemic, just visit emergency.ttu.edu/coronavirus.
Texas Tech officials made a trip to Austin yesterday in hopes of securing continued funding for the university. Chancellor Ted Mitchell, TTU President Lawrence Skuvanek, and TTU Health Sciences Center President Lori Rice Spearman all appeared before the Texas Senate Finance Committee on Wednesday morning. The 3 local administrators were accompanied by Angelo State President Ronnie Hawkins and TTU HSC El Paso President Richard Lang at the Capitol in Austin. Starting at 9 a.m., each member of the university's leadership was given several minutes to testify before the committee. The testimony included details about the university's request for state funding that will be decided on during this year's legislative session. After each testimony, members of the Finance Committee were given time to ask questions or give comments on the university's requests. Once the committee reviews the TTU system's proposed budget, a full vote of the House and Senate will determine the university's funding later this year. The Texas legislature meets once every 2 years, which means any funding approvals will remain in place until 2023.
Each year, several Texas Tech departments hold week-long sets of theme events to bring awareness to topics important to students. And throughout this week, one campus group is using a combination of in-person and virtual events to help students live their best life. The Office of Risk Intervention and Safety Education kicked off Love Your Body and Soul Week on Monday in the Sub West Plaza from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. RISE partnered with the Center for collegiate recovery communities to provide students with information about body positivity and positive affirmations. Alex Schroed, a program director with the CRC, was also on hand to answer questions and give students tips on how to take care of their body and soul.
We just think it's really important for people to feel comfortable in their own skin, right? Feel comfortable in whatever body that they have. Really learn how to nourish and take care of both their body and their soul.
Love Your Body and Soul Week finishes out tomorrow with Yoga in the Park hosted by the Student Rec Center. Tomorrow's yoga session is scheduled for 5:30 p.m. in the Urbaninski Park, weather permitting. For more information on this week's events, as well as future activities hosted by RISE, visit rise.ttu.edu.
After last week's polar plunge, the South Plains area saw a return to spring-like conditions for most of this week. But students heading to class today may have had flashbacks of last week's winter storm, as temperatures dropped near freezing overnight. So is this the beginning of another run of wintry conditions? MCTV's Madison Hartin joins us in the studio with the latest look at the forecast. Madison?
Thanks, Nathan. Well, Texas Tech, there is no need to worry. I know it feels a little bit cooler outside due to the wind and the cloud cover and the fact that we had a little bit of a cold front blow in last night. But don't worry, this is not another polar vortex, and we are not going to be seeing cold temperatures like we saw last week. That was a bit of an anomaly after all, and I do think we're going to be experiencing some more spring-like conditions as we move into the rest of the year. Now, for today, the high climbed up to 43 degrees. It is overcast, which is making it feel a little bit colder outside. And of course, that wind coming from the northeast at 15 to 25 miles per hour is making things feel a little bit cooler out there as well. For tonight, however, the wind is going to start to dissipate a little bit, coming from the northeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour, so a lot more manageable. And the clouds are going to start to dissipate. It'll be partly cloudy outside and still cool with a low of 27 degrees for this evening. The South Plains as a whole for this evening is going to be seeing a little bit of cloud cover as we move into it, as well as a little bit of precipitation probably out there to the southeast of us. For the southwest of us, where it's going to be its coolest, out at 24 at Dimmitt and 22 at Muleshoe. That is going to be experiencing some cloudy conditions, and I'm sorry if you're out there, but this is not going to be lasting. It is just going to be a little bit of cold weather. And then out there by Aspermont and Spur, we are going to be expecting a little bit of precipitation, about a 30% chance of precipitation. It will be liquid. It will not be solid winter precipitation, thank goodness, after the week we had last week, but that is good. We are still in a bit of a drought at the moment, even with all the winter weather we got last week. We're still in our dry season, and we could be using some of this rain. Now, looking into the South Plains as a whole for tomorrow, we're going to be seeing temperatures start to slowly climb back up after that cool spot that we've had today, with highs in mostly around the mid to upper 60s for the South Plains. Now, as per this time of year for the South Plains, we're experiencing our higher temperatures in the afternoon and our lower temperatures in the evening and early morning. All I know is that means that you need a jacket when you go out in the morning, but if you try to wear that jacket by mid-afternoon, you're going to be a little bit too hot. But there's no way around it. That just kind of is how the weather is, and tomorrow is no exception. For tomorrow evening, the temperature is going to be dropping back down into the 30s again, but again, this is just common for this time of year. We're not going to be experiencing any winter weather. That seems to be what everyone's mind is on after last week. Back into Lubbock locally, however, we're going to be seeing for Friday partly cloudy skies with a high of 68, low of 33, and a westerly wind coming at 10 to 20 miles per hour. For Saturday, we have a high of 74, a little bit more cloudy that day, but still we're going to be seeing the sun peek out occasionally. A low of 36 and a southwesterly wind coming at 10 to 20 miles per hour. And then we're going to be having a sunny Sunday, as I like to call it. No clouds in sight for Sunday, but a high of only 56 degrees, low of 32, and a northeasterly wind coming at 15 to 25 miles per hour. So for Sunday, it is going to be a little bit cooler outside, but at least we have those sunny skies to look forward to. And we have a few chances of precipitation as we start to move into early next week, but it's a little too soon to tell there, but hopefully we'll be seeing some more rain and a little bit more cloud cover here on the South Plains. That's all for MCTV Weather. I'm Madison Hartin. Back to you, Nathan.
Thanks, Madison. The Texas Tech men's basketball team is currently on a 3-game losing streak after another overtime loss to Oklahoma State on Monday night. The Red Raiders put up a fight in Stillwater to tie the game at 65 at the end of regulation. But in overtime, a series of missed shots let the Cowboys take the lead and win with a final score of 74 to 69. Tech's next opponent is the number 14 ranked Texas Longhorns, who are coming to town with hopes of getting revenge for a loss in Austin back in January when Texas was ranked number 4 in the nation. A win for either team would strengthen their chances of a higher seed in the postseason, but a win for the Red Raiders would also give them some momentum as they head into an extra week of regular season play. Texas Tech will take on TCU on Tuesday, followed by Iowa State on Thursday, both at home and a couple of makeup games from postponements from earlier in the season. The Red Raiders will finish out their week of rescheduled matchups with a showdown against the league-leading Baylor Bears. Baylor is currently ranked number 2 in the polls, but the Bears have had 6 Big 12 games canceled or postponed due to COVID concerns and last week's winter storm. Baylor is making up 3 of those 6 games next week, and Tech is the last one on the slate before the Big 12 tournament starts on March 10th. Texas Tech versus Baylor is scheduled for 3 p.m. next Sunday, and you can catch all of the action on ESPN.
Unlike the men, the Lady Raider basketball team is finishing out their regular season on time, having no conference games rescheduled this year. Tech still has one more chance to end on a high note after another rough loss last night on the road. The Lady Raiders took on the Kansas State Wildcats in their second to the last Big 12 matchup. Tech fell behind early with the Wildcats taking a 14-point lead into halftime. In the third quarter, the Lady Raiders finally found their stride, pulling within 6 points of Kansas State before the start of the fourth quarter. Within under 2 minutes left in the game, Najee Murray put up a three-pointer to put Tech within 1 point of the lead, but that's as close as it got. The Wildcats went on to score 6 more points to finish out their domination, 86-79. The Lady Raiders will finish out the regular season playing against Oklahoma in Norman on Monday. Tip-off is set for 6 p.m. with TV coverage on Fox Sports Plus Oklahoma.
Basketball may be nearing the end of their season, but Texas Tech baseball is just getting started. Unfortunately, that start has been a little rough as the team went 0-3 this past weekend in Arlington in the college baseball showdown. Tech finished out their road opener with a matchup against Mississippi State on Monday. At the time, Tech was ranked 4th in the nation, and the Bulldogs were number 7. Much like the previous 2 games, Tech's pitching started out strong early, with starter Mason Montgomery giving up only 1 run on 3 hits through 4 innings. Tech was able to keep things tied up through the 6th and only allowed 1 run in the 8th. But in the 9th, the Bulldogs' bats came to life, helping 5 runs get across home plate and handing Tech their 3rd straight loss with a score of 5-11. The Red Raiders are hoping for a much better outcome this weekend in their home opener as they welcome Houston Baptist to town. The 3-game series is scheduled to start tomorrow afternoon at 2 p.m., followed by another 2 p.m. first pitch on Saturday and a 1 p.m. start for the closer on Sunday. All 3 games will be broadcast on Big 12 Now on ESPN+.
Since the university reopened in the fall, there haven't been too many in-person opportunities for students here on campus beyond class. But one department on campus has attempted to maintain at least some level of normality to give the tech community one option for escape from the everyday grind. The TTU School of Art's landmark arts galleries are currently open to the public. Here on campus, the art building features 3 primary galleries, including the SRO Photo Gallery in the basement. Parting Words is a combination photo and art exhibit currently on display at the SRO Gallery. The display features works by artist Amy Elkins, who took photos of Texas death row inmates and recreated their pictures using their last words. The text in the images contains everything from confession to hymns and sorrows to fears. Parting Words is a work in progress as Elkins continues to add new pictures to the exhibit each year, with the first piece originally created in 2009. If you would like to see Parting Words in person, you can stop by the art building Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m.
So Danielle, how has your week been after getting back from last week's winter storm?
Definitely better. I'm enjoying the warmer temperatures this week.
Aren't we all? That's all for today's edition of the MCTV Weekday Update.
Thanks so much for joining us, and be sure to check ttuhub.net every day for more news. We'll see you next week.